What are some of the primary ways that men today allow demonic influence into their lives? And I mean, we've heard the big ones, horror, yeah, of course, addictions like pornography, horror movies and things like that. But from your experience, where do you feel we're letting our guard down maybe too easily and allowing that entrance, that, temptation to really take root?
Okay. So, first of all, I'd like to say that there's a kind of proclivity in contemporary American Catholic life to have a kind of curiosity about the demonic and the sort of sensational side of the spiritual warfare that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
And I would like to really encourage everybody to avoid that curiosity, which I don't know is very helpful in our spiritual life. And the reason I say that is that Christ is already victorious. If we are living a life of the sacraments of the church and trying to stay in the state of grace, we're already on the winning team. And it's not like the devil is out there somehow going to trip us up, to catch us and drag us down to hell, or give us the problem of obsession or possession. It's not like that. The sort of more positive slant about living an authentic, full-bodied, manly Catholic life is going to achieve all of the protection that we need against the forces of evil. So I just want to say that on the outset, that it's not like there's a demon around some corner that's waiting to possess you and you might get tripped up unawares. It just doesn't work like that. Mm-hmm. Our cooperation with the demonic is really nothing more than when we succumb to temptation and commit sin. That's how it happens. And when people find themselves in the kind of horrible condition of demonic obsession or possession, it's usually because they've cooperated with that world of, they've given into the world of temptation and sin so completely or over such a long time that they find themselves very far down this dark alley of the demonic. Or that's ordinarily what happens. All of us are fighting this battle, as I said, in these kind of micro interactions, day by day. And that's where the battle happens. So for most people, I would say for your viewers, they would say, I would encourage them, look around your life and say, where are you most likely to let down your guard in the spiritual sense? Is it with your relationship with your wife, where you settle into a kind of a cruise control of the way that you interact with each other, as far as not really listening, not really looking at each other in the eye, not really attending to each other's emotional and material and financial, spiritual needs, and you just sort of settle into a kind of a routine that's not mindful? Or maybe it's kind of wherever we settle down into some sort of mindless cruise control, that's probably where we're going to be most likely tripped up by temptation. If we are using the internet for just kind of mindless entertainment,
that's what I was thinking.
That's where you're going to find yourself, 2 weeks later, addicted to some binge. You find yourself binging on some television program that you never would have watched if you were really thinking about it. Or you find yourself down the YouTube rabbit hole, 4 hours later at 2 o'clock in the morning thinking like, what the heck am I doing here? Right. And it's usually nothing more than you've kind of let down your guard and you're on cruise control, which means that we're not mindful, not aware, not recollected is what we would say in the spiritual life. We lose that kind of edge, which is recollection. So those are the places I would say, John, where that's kind of a long way of answering your very good question. It's not like there's that whole world of, let's say, the brothel down the street. Of course, that's going to be a dangerous place. Or, I don't know. The gambling parlor. I don't know. The casino. I don't know. There are all of these places where you think that's where evil is located, and I'm just going to avoid that, and then I'll be fine. It's, I think, more a situation of how plugged in am I to a life of prayer, regular prayer, so that I'm recollected and mindful, so that I'm aware at the dinner table tonight when my wife asks me a question, and it's in fact not about the question she's asking, it's her asking for a real connection for me to look in her eyes and really listen to her and really respond in love. right?
Yeah.
So recollection and mindfulness is the answer, I think, to that temptation, or the way that we get dragged down into a worldly mindset.
Hey, thanks for joining us. If you like that clip and want to see more just like that, click over here. If you want to see our podcast where we go more in depth into these issues every single week, click over here. And if you are looking for a systematic guide to become a better man, a man of greatness, head over to Catholic Gentleman Plus. I hope to see you there.